Imagine that your muscle is a balloon. When you go to the gym, lift heavy weights, and eat your protein, you're blowing air into that balloon. Day after day, month after month, the balloon gets bigger, thicker, and more impressive. This is the biological process of hypertrophy. But eventually, you reach a physical limit. The rubber of the balloon can only stretch so far before it simply cannot expand any further without bursting. You hit your genetic ceiling, and your progress grinds to an agonizing, frustrating halt. Welcome to Dr. Levitas. But there might be a way to bypass this limit. What if, instead of just trying to blow more air into an already maxed out balloon, you could actually force your body to manufacture brand new balloons? Today, we are stepping into one of the most highly debated, fascinating, and extreme realms of exercise physiology. We are going to explore a controversial technique that old-school bodybuilders swore by, and that modern science is finally beginning to understand. We are talking about the extreme stretch protocol, and the deeply viral question, is it possible to trigger muscle hyperplasia? Please take a moment to like the video and leave a comment. It is an effortless way to help the channel. To understand this biological frontier, we first have to clearly define the medical debate between hypertrophy and hyperplasia. For decades, the standard medical textbook has been absolutely clear. Humans are born with a genetically fixed, finite number of muscle fibers. When you train, you experience hypertrophy. Hyper means over or excessive, and trophy means growth or nourishment. Hypertrophy is the physical thickening and enlargement of your existing muscle cells. You make the balloons you already have bigger. Hyperplasia is an entirely different biological mechanism. Plasia means formation. Hyperplasia is the actual splitting, dividing, and creation of brand new muscle cells. For a very long time, scientists insisted that hyperplasia was strictly limited to certain animals and developing fetuses, and that it was biologically impossible for adult humans to create new muscle fibers. They believed that once you reached your genetic limit of cell size, your journey was over. But then, a bizarre and groundbreaking experiment turned the physiological world completely upside down. To prove that muscle fibers could indeed split and multiply under the right conditions, researchers had to look outside of traditional human weightlifting. This brings us to the legendary birdwing study, primarily spearheaded by Dr. Jose Antonio and Dr. William Gagne in the early 1990s. The researchers wanted to isolate the exact mechanical trigger for cell division. They used an avian model, specifically, the wings of quail. They attached a small, weighted mechanism to the wing of the bird that kept the muscle in a state of continuous, progressive, weighted stretch for several days at a time. This was not a quick, dynamic contraction like lifting a dumbbell. It was a relentless, extreme, static stretch. When the researchers eventually analyzed the muscle tissue under a microscope, the results were staggering. The muscle mass of the stretched wing had increased by over 300%. But the massive shock came when they counted the actual fibers. The muscle had not just experienced hypertrophy. The total number of individual muscle fibers had increased by up to 90%. The extreme, unrelenting stretch had literally forced the muscle fibers to split down the middle and create brand new, fully functional cells to survive the tension. The researchers proved that under conditions of extreme mechanical stretch, hyperplasia was absolutely biologically possible. Long before Dr. Antonio published his quail study, the most elite, hardcore bodybuilders of the 1970s, 80s, and 90s were already utilizing this exact biological loophole. They didn't have the microscopic data, but they possessed a profound intuitive understanding of human anatomy. They called it fascia stretching. To understand why this is so critical, you have to look at the packaging of your muscles. Your muscle fibers do not just float freely under your skin. They are tightly bundled and encased in a thick, highly restrictive, web-like connective tissue called the deep fascia. I want you to imagine trying to blow up a balloon while it is stuffed inside a thick, stiff leather sleeve. It does not matter how hard you blow. The balloon will never get bigger than the leather sleeve allows. Your fascia is that leather sleeve. Many old-school bodybuilders, and modern pioneers of programs like dog crap training, believed that the primary limiting factor for muscle growth was not a lack of protein or a lack of effort, but simply a lack of physical space. The fascia was too tight. To combat this, they developed the extreme stretch protocol. They would intentionally place their fully pumped muscles into the deepest, most agonizing stretched position possible while holding a heavy weight, essentially trying to physically stretch and expand that tough leather sleeve from the inside out. So, how does this actually work at a cellular level, and how do you execute it? The protocol demands that you hold a heavy weight in the fully stretched, eccentric position of an exercise for up to 60 seconds. Imagine doing a weighted pull-up and hanging at the very bottom, letting the weight pull your lats upward. Or sitting on a calf raise block, dropping your heels as low as they can possibly go, and holding that agonizing stretch with heavy weight on your shoulders. When you hold a muscle in a state of loaded, extreme stretch for 60 uninterrupted seconds, you create a massive, localized biological emergency. The tension forcefully activates dormant, sleeping cells that live on the outer edge of your muscle fibers, called satellite cells. Satellite cells are essentially myogenic stem cells. They are the body's emergency reserve of muscle building material. Under normal lifting conditions, a few satellite cells might wake up to help repair the muscle. But under the brutal, relentless tension of a 60-second loaded stretch, the satellite cells are violently activated in mass. They rapidly multiply, fuse with the existing muscle fibers to add new nuclei, and, according to the hyperplasia theory, potentially facilitate the splitting of the fiber into entirely new cells to handle the extreme mechanical load. You are chemically signaling to your body that your current cellular architecture is completely inadequate for survival. I must be completely honest with you, this is not a comfortable technique. In fact, if you execute a 60-second loaded stretch correctly, you are going to experience a level of muscle soreness that you have likely never felt before. This profound soreness is known as delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS. As we've discussed in previous videos, DOMS is primarily caused by eccentric muscle damage, the lengthening of the muscle under load. When you sit in an extreme, weighted stretch, you are placing the microscopic actin and myosin filaments inside your muscle into a state of maximum, sustained elongation. The mechanical tension literally pulls the microscopic sarcomeres apart. It creates profound micro-trauma deep within the tissue. This trauma triggers a massive acute inflammatory response. Your body floods the area with white blood cells, cytokines, and fluid to clean up the cellular debris and begin the rebuilding process. The sheer volume of this inflammatory fluid creates intense intracellular pressure, which pushes against your pain receptors. You are going to ache, deeply and profoundly, for several days. But remember, this highly localized, acute inflammation is the exact required biological signal that tells the satellite cells to get to work. But the mechanical stretch is only half of the equation. To truly unlock the potential for cell splitting and fascial expansion, this stretch must be combined with extreme blood pooling, commonly known as the pump. The protocol is most effective when performed at the very end of your workout, when the target muscle is already completely engorged with blood. When you have a massive pump, your muscle cells are swollen with fluid, plasma, and metabolites. The cells are physically pushing outward against the restrictive fascial sleeve. Now, introduce the heavy, 60-second loaded stretch. The muscle is already swollen to its absolute limit from the blood, and now you are applying brutal, external mechanical tension to physically pull it apart. This combination of internal swelling and external stretching creates an environment of localized hypoxia, a lack of oxygen, and astronomical intracellular pressure. This dual threat is what researchers believe forces the ultimate biological adaptation. The cell is swollen with blood, screaming for oxygen, and being stretched to its physical breaking point. To prevent catastrophic failure, the muscle has no choice but to lay down new tissue, expand the fascia, and, theoretically, force the creation of new muscle fibers to distribute the lethal mechanical stress. You are using blood volume and gravity to hack your cellular biology. With all this talk of extreme tension and cell splitting, I have a profound medical responsibility to issue a strict warning. This technique, if done carelessly or with an ego-driven mindset, is highly dangerous to your joint health. There is a massive, critical difference between stretching the muscle belly and stretching the joint capsule. Your muscles are designed to stretch, tear, and rebuild. Your ligaments and your joint capsules are not. If you stretch a ligament too far, it becomes permanently lax, leaving your joint highly unstable and prone to catastrophic dislocation. When you perform an extreme loaded stretch, you must maintain active tension. You are not just hanging passively and letting the weight rip your skeleton apart. If you are doing a weighted fly stretch, you must actively flex your chest muscles against the weight, even while you are at the bottom of the movement. You must keep the target muscle engaged so that it absorbs the force, acting as a biological shock absorber to protect the delicate connective tissue of the joint underneath. Furthermore, you must never use a weight that you cannot control safely. The goal is prolonged, agonizing tension, not moving the heaviest dumbbell in the gym. This is an advanced technique for seasoned lifters who possess an acute mind-muscle connection, not a quick fix for beginners looking for a shortcut. Here is the doctor's verdict: unlock new muscle growth. True physical transformation is never about finding a lazy shortcut. It is about finding the courage to push your biology past its perceived limitations. By understanding the debate between hypertrophy and hyperplasia, and by honoring the brilliant, old-school intuition of fascia stretching, you can unlock a new frontier of muscle growth. When executed safely, with perfect form and active tension, the 60-second loaded stretch has the power to wake up dormant satellite cells, expand your restrictive fascia, and command your body to build a bigger, better balloon. Be patient, respect your joints, and demand more from your cellular machinery. Stay strong, protect your joints, and I will see you in the next video. Watch this video suggestion, it was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.